Namaste, mommy. Today I'm going to talk about folktales. Yes, I'm sure your kids love to listen to some stories and fables, and I'm sure you must be reading quite a few books to them every day, especially bedtime stories. But what I've observed, especially in metro cities, that people don't buy stories which are rooted in India. Not many, I mean, and not many books in our closet are related to Indian culture. I understand that we all want to follow the trend and the fashion and whatever is happening around us, and we don't want to be left out. And that is the reason our desire is to be a world citizen and we want to know the stories from across the world. But what I feel is that when it comes to identifying yourself and setting an example and also having a personality which is rooted in our culture makes a huge difference. Have you seen Chinese, Koreans, Japanese, or even French people running after English stories? No, they don't. They do talk about their own way of living and the way they love to study, read. Japanese have got their own mathematics, right? And I'm sure you are sending your kids to Commons or Mandarin language or something like that. But how many of you are into having some workshops which are based on culture, or having drawing books, or having storybooks which are based on folktales? What I feel is, and I really want to encourage this practice, that we go to the store and buy books which are rooted in India. It is going to help us in a long way. You know why? Because if they don't know themselves well, how are they going to connect with the world? And it will be very easy for the world to bully you. You know what happens when you go to a uni abroad? They do get bullied and they have this identity crisis and they just don't know how to reply to many questions people raise upon them. So how do you answer? It has to start from the time they are born. And if you do that, I'm sure they are going to be ready to face the challenge of the world. So how do we start? We start reading some interesting stories to them. The 5 stories which I have grown up listening to, I'm going to share today. I'm sure you must have seen this show called Tenali Raman. Tenali Raman was born in that Vijayawada empire. He was one of the scholars of his time and he had done some marvelous work to uplift the society. And if we talk about Tenali Raman to our generation, they will understand how the intellectual works. Secondly is Chanakya. Yes, I feel that you must talk about Chanakya to your child. Third is Panchatantra. If your kids are below 5 years or at least till 7-8 years, Panchatantra is the best stories which we must narrate to our children. It talks about the life in the jungle and the life otherwise in the villages. Who doesn't know Akbar and Birbal? Birbal was one of the 9 gems in Akbar's court, and he was famous for his wittiness, the courage and the promptness he had while resolving issues pertaining to the kingdom. And I'm sure many of your parents have seen this series called Vikram Vetal. It has its own advantage. Vikramaditya was the king of Ujjain. He was the best example of the king of his times, and even today, the kind of work he has done, it is still influencing us in some or other ways. So yes, these stories are the best example of morality, courage, empathy, and the love among the people. I could manage to find certain books on Amazon. I've given those links in the description box for your convenience, and you can order them from there. So please, next time you go to a store, ensure that you pick up these stories and narrate to your children. Thank you.